had 9 months to study for the TEAS, and I literally took that time to start that early because I wanted to go through all of the information, but I wanted to do it on my time. I wanted to do it at my pace. I didn't want to feel pressure to meet a certain deadline. So I would take my book with me to work. I would work on some of the questions. And what I did before I even started studying, my plan was to take the first practice test before I started studying. I made a 74 on that practice test. And so I really focused on my weak areas, and I really hammered down on those areas. I read both books cover to cover. The night before the TEAS, I took the second practice test and I scored a 68. I went into a total panic because I'm thinking, man, I prepped and I did worse on the second practice test than I did on the first. Looking on websites, they said that normally you would kind of come into where you did your TEAS practice test. That's the score you would make. So I thought personally, hey, I messed this up. I'm going to score 70 and I'm going to try to compete with these slots with the 70. That morning, my wife drove me down to my community college, made sure I ate a good meal, and I went in there mentally prepared to take the TEAS. Where guys, my TEAS score was an 80. So I felt that I was in a really good situation to get a nursing slot, because that means to beat me, 10 people would have to score more than what I scored on the TEAS. Here's what I found out by taking the TEAS test. Number one, the math to me was easier on the TEAS than it was on the practice test. Number two, the science was a lot harder in the TEAS than it was on the practice test. Hopefully, I just gave you guys some insight, and I know from talking to some of the guys that I went to class with, our TEAS scores was kind of right around the same. If you guys want to compete, I would say you need to start focusing on making 80 and up to get into nursing school, especially if you want to get into a paramedic RN bridge or even one of these traditional slots. Because I'll tell you, in my class, when we merged in with the traditional students, these were not folk out of high school. We had a respiratory therapist, we had school teachers, we had a lot of second career folk. We had LPNs that took up these traditional slots. So it's going to be a lot of competition to get into nursing. But your TEAS score is what's going to make or break you along with your average grades. So just make sure that you shoot for an A on your prereqs and post a high TEAS score, and I promise you, you'll get a slot. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and visit my blog, and you can see my whole entire nursing school journey. Take care.